Time right now, just after 8:30. To Minneapolis now, where the first week of school was overshadowed by a horrific shooting. Police say a suspect shot through the windows of Annunciation Catholic Church during a mass full of students from the church's school. We know 2 kids, just 8 and 10 years old, were both killed. 14 other kids were killed. 14 other kids were also hurt. 3 adults, meanwhile, in their 80s, were also injured. The shooter then took their own life. The FBI is investigating this as an act of domestic terrorism and a hate crime targeting Catholics. When something like this happens very publicly in the news, when innocent lives are lost to violence, it can be really hard to talk about the subject with your loved ones, especially if you have young kids, but they're seeing it, right, on the news. People are talking about it. So what can parents do to help their kids? Even as we process the situation ourselves as adults, it is not easy. That's why we have Suma Hodge this morning from MIKID joining us to give us some insight and guidance for our parents. Thank you so much for being here this morning.
Yes, definitely. Thank you. I appreciate it.
It's a hard topic for anybody to talk about, especially to explain it to kids. Where do you even start?
Absolutely. It's very challenging because when we see the exposure that we have to the news, social media, it's a little bit difficult to be able to contain that information and how we want to share it with our kids. So making sure we have those conversations that are definitely age appropriate, not shying away to allow them to have the conversation about their feelings and explain what's going on and they're appropriate for them. And we want to be able to create that space by modeling the behavior and allowing them to be able to share what they're going through and what they may be feeling while they're going through it.
And we know you don't have to have seen it in person. You don't have to be involved in it to feel the effects of something like this. So what should parents be looking out for in our children if they're being affected by something that's traumatic that's happening?
Absolutely. We call this secondary trauma. So secondary trauma is where you don't have to actually experience it or witness it to have the actual PTSD effects of it. And children are very prone to PTSD as well, too, especially not understanding what they're going through. So you may see signs of clinginess. You may see signs of the separation anxiety, unexplained anger, right? Blowing up things out of proportion that seem so minor, or sad about things, lack of wanting to participate in activities that they once enjoyed, unexplained feelings of stomach aches, headaches, without no real root cause of it. You have that feeling of when they're not able to connect with someone else in a moment, or unexplained fears of situations, not wanting to go to school because of that.
If you were to see some of these things in your child, and it could happen really not just days after, but weeks or months after, what do you do?
Yes, it can happen at any time. Sometimes it takes a little while for kids to process their feelings. And so when you're having that experience, you want to make sure that you're connecting them to local resources. MIKID, for instance, we have counseling services, peer support, where we're able to provide living skills and develop those ability to develop resiliency, which is really important during this time.
If your child doesn't bring it up, and I'm sure it's going to matter with the age, if they don't bring it up, should you be bringing it up? Like, I don't know if you know this happened in the news. Should we be bringing it up as parents?
Yes, just making them aware of it, explaining to them that there are safety precautions that are aware in schools, and make sure that they're taking those fire drills and those active drills, shootings, very serious while they're in school. Is very important. So having that conversation and just easing it in and let them lead the conversation, follow their signs, witness what they're looking like, their body language, to let you know if they're starting to feel uncomfortable.
And on the other side of that, if kids are bringing it up, you're talking about it, I think a lot of them have anxiety, like, is it even safe to go to church? Is it even safe to go to school? These are the things that come up in their minds when they see something like this happen. What do you say?
It's important for us as parents to make sure we're modeling that behavior. What does it look like for us when we're feeling stressed or frustrated in situations, when we're feeling overwhelmed? We want to model that behavior so that they can pick up on how to develop when they're feeling anxious or upset. When we're feeling uncomfortable, how are we modeling that for them? That's what they're going to be paying attention to, is our body language, our physical responses to things like that. So being able to be mindful in those situations for us as parents, when we are feeling this way, when we're watching the news and hearing this information, they're going to pick up on that as well.
Yeah. They are always watching.
Yes.
The kids are always watching.
They're going to watch what you're doing more than they're going to listen to what you're saying.
Okay. Thank you so much for giving us those ideas. And again, it's MIKID with plenty of resources. So thank you for your time.
Absolutely.